Hello, everyone. I'm Hassan Munsif, an English teacher who is passionate about reading articles from Guardian, New York Times, BBC. And I think reading is a very good way to improve our English skills, especially reading, and also build up a good vocabulary. Today's article is about social media. It's a very hot topic after the adolescence. The TV series, which was quite popular worldwide. And this article was published on June 7th in Guardian, and the title of the article is that no smartphones before 14, no social media until 16. The Anxious Generation author on how to fight back against big tech. This article is talking mostly about Jonathan Haidt, a man who is claiming that we shouldn't give smartphones to our kids until the age of 14 and no social media accounts until 16. Okay, and he's going to talk about some of the strategies, things that we can employ to fight back against these smartphone or this kind of trend in modern society. Jonathan Haidt is a man with a mission. You'll have to forgive the cliche, but because it's literally true. The author of The Anxious Generation, an urgent warning about the effects of digital tech on young minds. Jonathan Haidt has a mission. It means that he is very, he has a goal, he has a purpose in this, in his journey, in his life. And The Anxious Generation, out in paperback, follows book on happiness, political polarization, and campus culture wars. It's an evidence-based but thoroughly mission-driven call to action. Smartphones, he argues, are largely responsible for a collapse in young people's mental health since 2010. He believes that this smartphones has played a very important role. It's responsible for a collapse, a kind of a reduction in mental health of young people. His statements of the problem and straightforward advice on what to do about it has convinced policymakers too. Means that he has been successful to convince policymakers to change their minds. In Australia, this is one example. In Australia, where a ban on social media for under 16s will take effect later this year, his work has changed the law. Because of Jonathan Haidt's actions, there will be a ban on social media in Australia for teenagers, under 16 teenagers, to have access to social media. Let's carry on with this story. And this ban, I don't know if you have agreed with Jonathan Haidt so far or not. So what is his prescription to reverse, to take it back, what he calls the great rewiring of children's lives? He sets out 4 norms that parents and society at large should adopt. So there are 4 things that Jonathan Haidt thinks that parents and society should follow, should pursue. Okay, let's go one by one. The first one, no smartphones before the age of 14. As we talked about that, no social media until 16. Phone-free schools. As you can see these days in many schools, cell phones have been banned, are being banned. And far more unsupervised play and childhood. I think it is interesting that on childhood independence, he means at the same time that you're restricting your children and restricting their access to social media, On the other hand, you need to give them some more freedom, more independence in other areas. I mean, that's actual play, kind of unsupervised play, physical things, okay, interactions, and playing games with their friends and peers. Okay, there were 4: no smartphone before the age of 14, no social media accounts until 16, and schools should be free of phone, and the last one, unsupervised play and childhood independence. Let's carry on. Modern parents exposed to a diet of constant bad news are more paranoid. This stunts development, reducing the opportunity to learn skills such as cooperation and conflict resolution, to overcome fears, and well, to have fun. Jonathan Haidt believes that because now they are bombarded with so much bad news. I mean, parents, especially now in my country, Iranian parents, about war and other things. And Jonathan Haidt doesn't say that. I have added, and it is reducing the opportunity to learn skills such as cooperation. Okay, so students, children, teenagers they don't have the opportunity to experience cooperation and play with their friends, and so they will be more concerned and worry among families. Let's continue. Essentially, he argues we are guilty of overprotection in one place, the same thing that we talked in one place, in the real world, and under protection in another, online. So it is something that we are doing, that we are overprotecting children in the real world. You say, oh, no, you shouldn't go out at this time. You're not allowed to go to this street. It is very dangerous. He believes that we should reverse this. And unfortunately, we do not have enough protection. And he uses the term under protection in online world. And then he says, I think that was one of the important points of adolescence and the TV shows, the mini-series, referencing the Netflix show that dramatized the influence of manosphere on teenage boys. We all freaked out in the 90s about the outside world, and it wants to say that the kind of culture that it is a kind of dramatic interpretation of what we saw, of what we see in adolescence, and which is the whole story revolves around a teenage boy, okay, and kind of violence at school, maybe because of social media. And the final thing that I have selected for today's podcast is somewhat alarmingly for a man who first made his name in the Pollyannish field of positive psychology. He really is. I'm extremely worried about social collapse. Technology always changes societies, and we are just beginning the biggest technological change in history. Okay, it's a very big technological change. It's a dramatic shift, actually. It will only speed up as AI becomes entangled in everything. AI has become a part of everything. So we are headed into a very dangerous time, especially for liberal democracies that require some degree of shared facts, shared stories, and trusted institutions. And when we have the AI, the artificial intelligence in our minds, and the impact it can have on social, on children and teenagers, we can see this is becoming more alarming. Okay, I hope that you enjoyed today's podcast, but let's focus on some vocabulary items from this article. One of them that he used was unsupervised play. It's a good collocation, unsupervised play. So this is the opposite of supervised play, supervised use of something. And another one was compound noun, childhood independence. Okay, and which was talking about the independence that they can experience in childhood. And we had also about take effect, the law in Australia, take effect. It means that it will come into action. And finally, the last thing that I want to say, it was the kind of rewiring of children's lives. Rewiring is just, we need to change it. We need to make a shift here. For example, you need to, because our brain is so heavily dependent on something, we need to rewire our brain. And why rewiring means that we need to destroy this and build it up again, and their life here. Okay, let me know about your ideas and how this podcast has helped you and how this podcast can be improved. Have a very, very good time. See you.